The wrestling world mourns. Hardcore legend. Sabu dies at 60. An icon's explosive legacy ignites a firestorm of tributes. Hold on to your steel chairs, wrestling fans, because the squared circle just lost its wildest warrior. On May 11, 2025, the professional wrestling universe was rocked to its core by the sudden passing of Terry Michael Brunk, better known as Sabu, the homicidal, suicidal, genocidal, death-defying maniac at the age of 60. This hardcore legend didn't just wrestle, he redefined the art form, carving his name into history with blood, barbed wire, and a fearless spirit that left jaws on the floor and arenas in chaos. From the gritty battlegrounds of Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, to the global stages of WWE, TNA, and Japan's NJPW, Sabu was a one-man revolution, a high-flying, table-smashing lunatic who made pain his canvas and the ring his masterpiece. As the wrestling world reels from this gut-punch loss, tributes are pouring in, and fans are reliving the insane moments that made Sabu a god among grapplers. Buckle up for a deep dive into the life, legacy, and lunacy of the man who turned wrestling into a blood-soaked symphony of carnage, a saga that spans decades, continents, and countless broken tables. A legend forged in fire and blood. Terry Michael Brunk, born December 12, 1964 in Staten Island, New York, wasn't just a wrestler, he was a phenomenon, a force of nature who redefined what it meant to step into the ring. Trained by his uncle Ed Farhat, the infamous The Sheik, Sabu was destined for greatness from the moment he laced up his boots in 1985. The Sheik was a hardcore pioneer, a villain who wielded fire and fear, setting the stage for the brutal spectacles of the 1960s and 1970s. But Sabu took that legacy and cranked it to a level of intensity that no one could have predicted, blending high-flying athleticism with a death-defying disregard for his own body. His nickname, the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, death-defying maniac, wasn't just a catchy moniker, it was a promise, delivered in every bone-crunching, blood-spilling match he fought, a testament to a man who saw the ring not as a stage, but as a battlefield. Sabu's early career was a crucible of pain and passion. Wrestling under the name Sabu the Elephant Boy, later simplified to Sabu, he was billed as a mysterious figure from Saudi Arabia, a nod to his uncle's Middle Eastern gimmick. His debut in 1985 for the Sheik's Big Time Wrestling in Detroit was the start of a journey that would take him across the globe. The independent circuits of North America were his proving ground, where he honed a style that combined technical wrestling with a reckless abandon that left promoters and fans alike in awe. By the late 1980s, Sabu ventured to Japan, a move that would shape his legend. Wrestling for Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling, FMW, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, NJPW, he embraced the punishing deathmatch style, competing in barbed wire bouts, exploding ring matches, and no-holds-barred slugfests that left him scarred but revered. In 1992, he won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, a prestigious title that showcased his ability to blend hardcore chaos with technical precision, earning the respect of Japan's discerning wrestling fans. Sabu's time in Japan was transformative. FMW, under the leadership of Atsushi Onita, was the epicenter of deathmatch wrestling, and Sabu fit right in, facing off against icons like Tarzan Goto and Mr. Pogo in matches that pushed the boundaries of human endurance. His willingness to bleed, to break, and to keep fighting made him a cult hero, a gaijin, foreign wrestler who embodied the Japanese concept of ganbaru, persevering through adversity. These early international exploits laid the groundwork for his later dominance, proving that Sabu wasn't just a stuntman, but a storyteller who used his body as his narrative. The ECW Revolution, Sabu's House of Hardcore. Sabu's true ascent to immortality came in the 1990s with Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, the rebellious Philadelphia-based promotion that became a cultural juggernaut under Paul Heyman's visionary leadership. ECW was the antithesis of the polished, family-friendly wrestling of the era, a gritty, violent, and unapologetic spectacle that spoke to the disenfranchised and the hardcore. Launched in 1992 as Eastern Championship Wrestling, it became Extreme Championship Wrestling in 1994, and Sabu was there from the early days, joining in 1993 and becoming the face of its hardcore ethos. From 1993 to 2000, with a brief hiatus in 1995 for WCW, Sabu was ECW's beating heart, delivering matches that were less about pinfalls and more about survival, spectacles that blurred the line between sport and sacrifice. His feuds with Rob Van Dam, Taz, Terry Funk, The Sandman, and the Public Enemy are etched in wrestling lore, moments of pure chaos that defined an era. The ECW Arena at 2300 South Swanson Street in Philadelphia was his Coliseum, a grimy, smoke-filled venue where fans chanted, "Sabu, Sabu," as he dove off ropes onto tables, crashed through barbed wire, and absorbed punishment that would have ended lesser careers. His 1997 Born to be Wired match against Terry Funk is one of the most infamous bouts in history. With the ring ropes replaced by barbed wire, Sabu tore open his bicep early in the match, famously taping it up with duct tape to keep fighting. The match ended with both men tangled in the wire, requiring the ring crew to cut them free with pliers, a scene so brutal it's still discussed in hushed tones. This wasn't wrestling, it was gladiatorial, a testament to Sabu's willingness to bleed for his art. Sabu's arsenal was as innovative as it was destructive. Moves like the Air Sabu, a heel kick using a steel chair as a springboard, Arabian Facebuster, a diving leg drop with a chair to the opponent's face, and Arabian Skull Crusher, a leg drop driving a chair into the opponent's head, often through a table, became his trademarks, each one a blend of athleticism and insanity. His moonsaults, often executed onto tables or barbed wire, were high-risk poetry, defying gravity and common sense. His silence added to his mystique. Rarely speaking, he let his actions scream, embodying a warrior's ethos that resonated with ECW's rabid fan base. Unlike the verbose promos of his peers, Sabu's promos were his matches. Each dive, each scar, each moment of defiance told his story louder than words ever could. His accolades in ECW were numerous. He won the ECW World Heavyweight Championship twice, 1993 and 1997. The ECW World Television Championship once, 1993, and the ECW World Tag Team Championship 3 times, twice with Rob Van Dam in 1997 to 1998 and once with Taz in 1994. As ECW's second Triple Crown champion, he solidified his status as a cornerstone of the promotion. But titles were secondary to his impact. Sabu popularized tables matches in North America, making the sight of a wrestler crashing through wood a staple of modern wrestling. As wrestler Matt Hardy noted on X, "The fact that tables are commonly utilized in pro wrestling is because of Terry Brunk. His matches weren't just events. They were cultural shifts, inspiring a generation of wrestlers to push the boundaries of pain and performance." A brief detour, WCW and the Call of Chaos. In 1995, Sabu briefly jumped to World Championship Wrestling, WCW, lured by the promise of a bigger stage. His tenure was short-lived but memorable as his high-risk style clashed with WCW's more traditional TV-friendly approach. Fans in Chicago's Rosemont Horizon chanted his name during his debut at Halloween Havoc 1995, a sign of his growing cult status. But WCW's reluctance to embrace his hardcore ethos limited his impact. Matches against Mr. JL, Jerry Lynn, and Alex Wright showcased his athleticism, but the promotion structure couldn't contain his chaos. Sabu was fired after a few months, reportedly for refusing to tone down his style, but his brief stint proved his star power. Fans wanted the real Sabu, not a watered-down version. His return to ECW in 1996 was a homecoming, greeted with roars from the Philly faithful. The WCW detour, while a misstep, underscored his commitment to his vision. Sabu wasn't a corporate wrestler, he was a rebel, a man who thrived in the underground where rules were suggestions and pain was currency. A global warrior, TNA, WWE, and international exploits. Sabu's career wasn't confined to ECW's hallowed halls. In 2002, he joined Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, TNA, bringing his hardcore gospel to a new audience. TNA, founded by Jeff and Jerry Jarrett, aimed to blend athleticism, storytelling, and spectacle, and Sabu was a perfect fit. His feuds with Abyss, Raven, and Jeff Hardy were brutal affairs, with the 2005 Barbed Wire Massacre match against Abyss earning TNA's Match of the Year award. The match, fought inside a barbed wire cage, was a bloodbath that echoed Sabu's ECW classics, proving he could still deliver at 40. His work in TNA's X Division, alongside stars like AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels, showcased his versatility, blending high-flying with hardcore to create matches that felt fresh, yet unmistakably Sabu. In 2006, Sabu signed with WWE for their controversial ECW revival, a move that divided fans. The new ECW under Vince McMahon's corporate umbrella was a far cry from the gritty original. But Sabu made the most of it. His 2006 ECW one-night stand match against Rey Mysterio was a highlight, ending in a no contest after a daring DDT sent both men crashing through a table, unable to continue. At WrestleMania 23 in 2007, Sabu, alongside ECW originals Rob Van Dam, Tommy Dreamer, and the Sandman, defeated the New Breed, Elijah Burke, Kevin Thorne, Marcus Corvon, and Matt Stryker, in front of 80,000 fans at Ford Field in Detroit, his hometown, a moment of triumph on wrestling's biggest stage. Sabu's WWE run ended in May 2007, but his ability to shine despite creative constraints proved his enduring star power. Sabu's international exploits were equally storied. In Japan, he wrestled for NJPW, FMW, Big Japan Pro Wrestling, and other promotions, earning respect for his willingness to endure the country's punishing deathmatch style. His 1994 exploding barbed wire deathmatch against Atsushi Onita in FMW drew 30,000 fans, a testament to his global appeal. In Mexico, he competed for AAAA in the early 2000s, blending his hardcore approach with lucha libre's high-flying flair. His 2010 and 2011 matches in Latin America, including a title win in Stream Latin American Wrestling, X-Law, showed he could still captivate audiences in his late 40s. Sabu's ability to adapt to different wrestling cultures, Japan's discipline, Mexico's aerial artistry, America's grit, made him a universal icon. The indie resurgence and A Warrior's Farewell Sabu announced his retirement in November 2021, citing the physical toll of his career, but the ring's call was too strong. He returned to the independent scene, wrestling for promotions like Game Changer Wrestling, GCW, the modern torchbearer of hardcore wrestling. GCW, founded by Brett Lauderdale, embraced the ECW spirit, and Sabu was a natural fit, facing off against younger stars like Matt Cardona and Nick Gage. His matches, though slower due to age, carried the same intensity, a reminder that Sabu's heart never aged. His final match on April 18, 2025 at GCW's Joey Janela's Spring Break 9 during WrestleMania weekend in Las Vegas was a poetic capstone. Facing Joey Janela, a modern hardcore icon known for his own death-defying antics, Sabu delivered a performance that echoed his prime, bloody, relentless, and defiant. He won with a moonsault through a table, symbolically passing the torch to the next generation. Lauderdale called it 100% authentic Sabu, a fitting send-off for a legend who never compromised. Fans chanted his name as he left the ring, bloodied but unbowed, a warrior to the end. Days before his death, Sabu appeared at a wrestling convention at Philadelphia's 2,300 Arena, the former ECW Arena, a sacred space where he became a god. Fans mobbed him, sharing stories of how his matches changed their lives. He signed autographs, posed for photos, and listened quietly, his scarred face a testament to his sacrifices. It was a final moment of connection, a testament to his enduring bond with the wrestling community. For Sabu, the fans were everything, and he gave them one last memory to cherish. On May 11, 2025, Sabu passed away, reportedly due to complications from a long-standing heart condition exacerbated by decades of physical punishment. His death at 60 was a shock, coming so soon after his final match and public appearance. The wrestling world was left grappling with the loss of a man who didn't just entertain but inspired, a pioneer who made the impossible seem possible. Tributes from the wrestling universe. The outpouring of grief was immediate and overwhelming, a tidal wave of love and respect from every corner of the wrestling world. Rob Van Dam, Sabu's longtime tag partner and friend, posted on X, "You showed us pain was an art form. Every broken table, every scar, every dive was for us. Rest easy, brother." Paul Heyman, ECW's architect, declared, "There would be no ECW without Sabu. He was the spirit of rebellion, the scream in the silence, the chaos in the order. His legacy is eternal." WWE superstars past and present joined the chorus. Sami Zayn called him one of a kind, a true game changer, while Becky Lynch tweeted, "Sabu made me believe wrestling could be anything, dangerous, beautiful, insane." Thank you, AEW's Mark Briscoe wrote, "Nobody made me want to be a wrestler more than Sabu." That man was a different breed. Jon Moxley, a hardcore icon in his own right, shared, "Sabu didn't just break tables, he broke barriers. He's why I'm here." ECW alum Francine, who managed Sabu in the ring, shared a tearful post. "My heart is broken. Rest in peace to my friend Sabu. I love you always." Taz, who debuted against Sabu in 1993, posted a heartfelt video struggling to articulate his loss. "He was my rival, my partner, my friend. Sabu was ECW Tommy Dreamer." Another ECW original called him the soul of hardcore, recounting a 1996 match where Sabu, despite a broken jaw, kept fighting, duct taping his face to finish. The indie scene where Sabu spent his later years was hit hard. Matt Cardona, who faced Sabu in GCW, posted, "He was a true Fiwak legend. Wrestling isn't the same without him." Nick Gage, GCW's hardcore king, wrote, "Sabu showed me how to bleed for this. I owe him everything." Joey Janela, Sabu's final opponent, shared, "I gotta wrestle my hero and send him off right. I'll carry that honor forever." Promotions honored him too. WWE issued a statement highlighting his WrestleMania 23 triumph and his role in shaping ECW's legacy. AEW praised his unforgettable high-risk moments and their influence on modern wrestling. GCW, which hosted his final match, wrote, "He was an outlaw and a game-changer. His legacy will inspire for generations." Even Japan's NJPW and Mexico's AAA sent condolences, acknowledging his global impact. Wrestling journalists and historians weighed in. Dave Meltzer in Wrestling Observer newsletter noted, "He was a giant part of the evolution of this industry. If you take him out of history, things change greatly." Mike Johnson of PW Insider wrote, "Sabu wasn't just a wrestler, he was a revolution, a man who made every match feel like a war." Dark Side of the Ring, which is producing an episode on The Sheik, announced plans to include Sabu's story, a fitting tribute to his family's wrestling dynasty. The man behind the madness. Beyond the blood and barbed wire, Sabu was a paradox, a quiet, humble man who let his scars speak for him. Trained as a technical wrestler by his uncle and father, he could have taken an easier path, chaining holds with the likes of Bret Hart or Dean Malenko. But Sabu chose the road of pain, driven by a need to push boundaries and tell stories that no one else could. His body was a roadmap of his career. A broken neck from a 1994 match with Chris Benoit, a shattered jaw taped up to finish a bout with the Sandman, a bicep torn open and duct taped mid-match in 1997. Each injury was a badge of honor, a proof of his commitment to the fans. Sabu's personal life was private, a stark contrast to his public persona. In 1997, he married Hitomi, a Japanese woman, in ceremonies in Michigan and Tokyo, a reflection of his deep connection to Japan. His heritage, Irish and German from his father, Lebanese from his mother, shaped his identity, though he was billed as an Arab American in the ring, adding to his enigmatic persona. He rarely spoke about his struggles, including a 2006 arrest for drug possession alongside Rob Van Dam, which resulted in a $1,000 fine and a suspended sentence. The incident, while a low point, didn't define him. His resilience did. Sabu's influence extended beyond the ring. He appeared in video games like ECW Hardcore Revolution 2000, Legends of Wrestling 2001, and WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, immortalizing his likeness for fans. In 2016, he guest-starred on Viceland's Traveling the Stars with Rob Van Dam, showing a lighter side as he discussed wrestling and life. That same year, he joined a class-action lawsuit against WWE, alleging long-term neurological injuries from his career, a battle that highlighted the physical toll of his sacrifices. Though the lawsuit was dismissed, it underscored the price Sabu paid for his art. Sabu's lasting legacy. Sabu's death marks the end of an era, but his legacy is eternal. He wasn't just a wrestler, he was a movement, a symbol of rebellion and resilience. His work in ECW revolutionized wrestling, paving the way for modern stars like Jon Moxley, Darby Allin, Nick Gage, and Orange Cassidy, who carry his torch in promotions like AEW and GCW. His table-breaking antics inspired countless imitators, but none matched his raw intensity. As Dark Side of the Ring noted, his impact was so profound that he's featured in an upcoming episode about his uncle, a fitting tribute to the Brunk Farhat wrestling dynasty. Sabu's matches were more than spectacles. They were stories of defiance, of a man who refused to bow to pain or convention. His silence in the ring spoke volumes, a reminder that true legends don't need words to be heard. Every broken table, every barbed wire scar, every moonsault into the abyss was a testament to his commitment to the fans and the art of wrestling. He didn't wrestle for glory or fame, he wrestled because it was who he was, a calling etched into his soul. His influence is everywhere. The hardcore style he pioneered is a staple of modern wrestling, from AEW's Blood and Guts matches to GCW's deathmatch tournaments. Wrestlers like Matt Tremont and Effie cite Sabu as their inspiration, while promotions like Combat Zone Wrestling, CZW, and Beyond Wrestling owe their existence to the path he blazed. Even mainstream stars like Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch have acknowledged his impact, noting how his willingness to take risks reshaped what wrestling could be. The ultimate underdog story, as Rollins put it. Sabu's legacy also lives in the fans. Those who packed the ECW arena in the 90s, chanting his name as he dove through tables, are now parents passing his legend to their kids. Online communities on X and Reddit buzz with clips of his matches, from his 1994 double table spot against Cactus Jack to his 2006 WWE ladder match with Rob Van Dam. Fan-made documentaries on YouTube like Sabu, the hardcore legend, have racked up thousands of views, preserving his story for a new generation. His 2021 induction into the Hardcore Hall of Fame, located at the 2300 Arena, was a long overdue honor, cementing his place as a pioneer. The cultural impact of Sabu and hardcore wrestling. Sabu's influence extends beyond wrestling into the broader cultural landscape. In the 1990s, ECW was more than a promotion. It was a countercultural movement, a middle finger to the sanitized entertainment of the era. Sabu, with his scarred body and silent intensity, was its poster child, embodying the raw, unfiltered spirit of a generation that embraced grunge, extreme sports, and rebellion. His matches were performance art, blending athleticism, violence, and storytelling in a way that anticipated the rise of reality TV and viral stunt videos. As wrestling historian John Lister noted, Sabu was the prototype for the modern daredevil, a guy who made Jackass look tame. His impact on wrestling's evolution is undeniable. Before Sabu, hardcore wrestling was a niche, confined to regional promotions and Japan's underground. He brought it to the mainstream, influencing WWE's Attitude Era and WCW's Cruiserweight division. The Dudley Boys, Edge, and Christian, stars who built careers on tables, ladders, and chairs, owe a debt to Sabu's trailblazing. Even today's high-flying stars like AEW's Will Ospreay or WWE's Ricochet trace their lineage to Sabu's fusion of aerial artistry and hardcore grit. Sabu also challenged stereotypes. As an Arab-American build from the Middle East, he navigated a wrestling world often reliant on ethnic caricatures. While his early Saudi Arabian gimmick leaned into exoticism, Sabu transcended it, letting his in-ring work redefine his identity. His success paved the way for wrestlers like Sami Zayn and Mustafa Ali, who've used their heritage to tell authentic stories. The final bell. Rest in power. Sabu's passing on May 11, 2025 is a wound that wrestling may never fully heal. He was more than a performer. He was a poet of pain, a silent warrior who turned the ring into a canvas of chaos and courage. His final match, his final appearance, his final breath, all were acts of defiance, a refusal to let age or injury dim his fire. He leaves behind a wrestling world forever changed by his sacrifices, a legion of fans who will never forget the sight of him soaring through the air, and a legacy that will echo in every hardcore match for decades to come. In wrestling, many are remembered, but few are immortal. Sabu is immortal, a scarred, silent legend who turned pain into poetry and chaos into history. His story is one of resilience, rebellion, and unrelenting passion, a reminder that the greatest heroes are those who give everything for their art. From the blood-soaked mats of FMW to the electric chaos of the ECW arena, from the global stages of WWE and TNA to the indie rings of GCW, Sabu's journey was a testament to the power of defiance. Rest in peace, Terry Sabu Brunk, the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, death-defying maniac. Your scars tell your story. Your matches sing your song, and your spirit will live forever in the roar of the crowd. Long live the legend who made the ring a battlefield and the impossible a reality.